In life, you really have to take things in strides. The last 2 weeks of my life have been just brutal, mind blowing bad. And that's pretty hard statement for me to make as I've already been through a lot in my journey thus far. But the last 2 weeks, I've been experiencing brutal nerve pains. And if you're not an amputee, what a nerve pain is when your nerves basically get grumpy and then they zap you just like an electrical shock it, just sticking your finger in a socket. And when it hits with such force that you convulse and your heart starts hurting because you can't breathe, like you're now, for you women out there that have been through labor, my understanding is contractions are very, very similar to that. When they hit you, it's mind blowing. You can't think of anything else. The other thing that happens when you're in this kind of pain is you go in this very, very dark place, both mentally and physically. You don't want to see anybody. You don't want to experience anything. You don't want to even be happy, which for me is very important. So today is a very important appointment because I get my life back. I get my freedom. But on the other hand, I also want to remember what I've been through. So I recognize on those bad days, you're not so bad. So let's get on this journey to St. Paul's and cryoablation of my nerves.
Well, good morning, guys. How's everybody doing today on day 2 of this trip? You ever have those sleeps where you can't sleep and then you do sleep and then you wake up and you don't know where you are? That was last night's sleep. It was just kind of messed up. And I don't know why. I think maybe I was worried about this morning's video because it's Wednesday, and as you know, I release a video every Wednesday, and today's video was the one I did with Terry Fox's grave, and I really wanted it to come out in the right light, if that makes sense. I didn't want it to look like, oh, Andrew's trying to make content. Sorry, I'm just doing up my shoes here. Or Andrew's doesn't have any content, so he figured, you go to a dead guy's grave. Because that wasn't it at all. I've got lots of ideas for content, so that's not even in my head. If people ever want to know, I'm sitting on a wet towel, wet butt for Dr. Lucky Charms. I don't know. He might be questioning things. Anyways, so I want to make the video for the right reasons, and that's why I made the reasons. I said it in the video, and I just wanted to get things out there about Terry and make his dream not disappear. And I think his grave really speaks volumes towards who Terry was and the Fox family. Because a lot of famous people are buried in these elaborate graveyards. But Terry's is not like that. And that's what I wanted to share. And I always get it. The kids always ask. So I thought, well, you know what? 2 birds with 1 stone. I might as well go and shoot a video about it. And then I can show the kids if they want to know. Some kids are really curious about that stuff. And, I kind of want to answer all the questions they have about Terry, not just some questions, if that makes sense. So that's why I did it. But now I got to switch the mind over to the injections. So like I said on the way down, the last set of injections, I don't know if it was me or him, but they didn't work. So I've been in agonizing pain. Like my chest was hurting. That's how bad it was. Because I couldn't breathe when the contractions come. Contractions sounds like a pregnant lady, but that's what it was, is just your whole body convulses, and it's just like, oh my God. So it really makes me appreciate people that have this disease, I guess you can call it. It's called CRPS, chronic regional pain syndrome. And it's where they can't get rid of those shocks for life. And you know, I've always had shocks, but never lasted that long. And it's like, oh my gosh, those people are warriors. Because I don't know how I would deal with it, but I'm hoping today's is a successful one, and hoping it's one of the last ones I have until I actually have another surgery. I'm due for surgery in February, so I'm hoping that my days are numbered of getting these injections, because they're not fun and they are extremely painful. So let me get my leg on here. So if you guys are new to my channel, I'm an right above knee amputee, and I put my leg on with suction, and I have this thing here. It's like a ski lock. So it's just a secondary lock device. So when you hear my leg goes on, you'll hear that of air going out of it, and then you'll hear this clicking. And that's how it goes, and then make it look normal and tuck my shorts around it. So let's get on our way to St. Paul's. Ready to fight another fight. Let's get on our way. Okay. Keys. Camera, phone. Got everything. Oh, looks like we got a little bit of rain today. Oh. Good morning, Mr. Grover. Oh. Put my bag in there. Got my super juice. Camera on the seat. Let's get on our way. Oh. Okay, looks like we got more rain than I thought. Wasn't supposed to get rain. That's why I watched Grover, but either or, it's all good. Doesn't look like much traffic today too, which is really nice. Even this road over here, not much traffic, which is a little bizarre because that one's always busy. That's leading over from Richmond into North Vancouver. So it's the Oak Street Bridge, and that Oak Street Bridge is the one I've talked about in the past that's always busy. So I'm a little weirded out of why it's not busy today. Happy, but a little weirded out. So I'll update you guys when I get closer to St. Paul's Hospital in Vancouver on Bernard Street. Hopefully traffic stays the way it is. I think this is bizarro world, guys. I've never seen traffic this easy getting down there. I'm actually ahead of schedule for once. I don't know. There's like very little traffic. It's like a normal city. I don't know if the rain kept people away or they know something that I don't know. Who knows? But never a dull moment. This morning, when I did that last clip, I started Grover up.
Lisa said, okay, that sucks.
Sorry, old Siri's talking. And I got a warning about the hybrid system in the van. So I get back, and then I'm back to Kelowna. So I guess what it is the van sits super low and it sucks up so much garbage on the highways that it gets clogged. So then the batteries can overheat. So I guess I'm going back to Kelowna and they'll either clean it out or replace it. Who knows? Never a dull moment, but I hope this traffic stays like this going down because this is great. I always love this bridge. This is the Bernard Street Bridge. It's just so cool. It's a little old and you just wonder, what's up there, and is that somebody's bedroom? I don't know, but it's so cool. I love this old bridge and it leads right past St. Paul's, which is really cool. Just the concrete jungle down here, and then you got old St. Paul's. Now, St. Paul's has kind of got a bad racket in the news lately. There was a story released last week of, I guess, mice in the maternity section. So somebody checked out their new baby and stuff because of the mice in the maternity section. So there's a lot of people beating up St. Paul's, but the nice thing about the article, I'll put it right here.
What was supposed to be a smooth recovery after the birth of their son quickly turned into a night of fear and disbelief.
Shocking. I mean, flabbergasted. I can carry on using all the adjectives that you can imagine because no one can believe that that's happening.
Inside the maternity room at St. Paul's Hospital on Tuesday, they say they spotted several mice. According to the new parents, staff said there has been an ongoing rodent issue and to keep personal items up high.
You think you're going to the hospital, you're in a sterile environment. I have open wounds, we have this fresh little infant, and you're expecting it to be clean. That is the absolute minimum.
Trying to protect their newborn, the family brought and set up their own traps around the room. But the problem did not subside, and so the family asked to be discharged or transferred to another hospital.
I was, of course, reluctant to leave, and is this the right decision for us? But ultimately it was, and we had to make that call that our home was safer than the hospital.
Is at the end of it, she talks about the staff being really good, because I think the staff make the hospital. So it's just an old building, and old buildings have mice. I think people are, unaware of mice are everywhere. They're not just in our homes, but in businesses. I know in my past life, I worked for a large retailer, and we had mice because of all the bird seed and all that stuff. It was just a good place to be. So, and we had exterminators and stuff, but it was always a mice problem. So this is leading into St. Paul's Hospital, and it's in the far distance in the brick colored building, but we'll get closer. Conveniently, that's Toyota on the corner here. Always have to be careful down here. There's so much traffic and people crossing and ambulances and police cars and everything that you always have to be so careful down here. But today doesn't look brutal, believe it or not, even though there's cars literally everywhere. The other thing I found interesting down here was the price of gas. It's $1.51 per liter. So that's not terrible for Vancouver. I mean, Vancouver hit $2 in the summer. So $1.51 down here. I mean, I've seen Abbotsford at $1.74. So that's not terrible. But let's get into St. Paul's. But first, the Wall Center.
The map said here at the wall, spelled with 2 E's.
For parking, go see my bellboy buddies. Whoa. I'm about an hour early, so I always like to be early. I tell them if you guys are running early, just run across the street to Starbucks. I'll be there waiting for you guys. So I want to make it as convenient as I can. It's funny, I've been coming down here so long that It sounds so stupid, but after 5 years of doing this trip, I'm starting to recognize the roads like Davies Street, and I've stayed on Davies Street, and I'm starting to recognize where I am, and I know Stanley Park's just over there, and it's taken me a long time because Vancouver is huge. And this place with the Christmas lights here on the left side here, that is St. Paul's Hospital, and I want to get here one night because it has the lights of hope there. Each one of those lights are donors for the hospital, and I want to get there one night and be able to see the lights because apparently it's quite the thing. So this is where I park Grover. It's the Vancouver Wall Center, and I think they've got room, but I will see. I've never seen them not have room, but let me go get with my bellboy buddies, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I got with them, and they said go ahead and park. So I'll go ahead and do that. This is the only time I've ever asked for help. I know, I just didn't want to risk scratching it, or I'll just get it out and you pull it back in. Thank you so much. There he is waiting down there, and I'll wait for my buddy here and give him the keys. But they're just so good to hear. Man, you know, coming down here, it sucks. There's no doubt about it, it sucks. Like, it sucks so much that my daughter's play is today and I'm missing it, which really bothers me. But coming down here, both for health and you almost think it's a purpose. You're meeting people and learning things. And I was just talking to this bell guy that I've been dealing with for years here, and I was talking about real world problems, and he was saying some guy was yelling at him because the elevators weren't fast enough in the hotel. And it's like, really? That's your biggest concern in life, that they're not fast enough? I don't know. I think that sometimes we miss the forest for the trees, if you will. So this is my part, and you guys have watched these videos before. I'll tell new people about this. What I'm doing today is I'm getting cryoablation. And cryoablation's been used for years. Sorry, I'm just going around the corner. In cancer. So cryo means freezing. So what they've done is they freeze the cancer cells. So they're using the same technology, but now they're freezing the nerves. So it basically stops the signal off for the nerves for, it's supposed to be up 6 months. I get about 6 weeks out of it. So I'm coming down here every 6 weeks for injections. So there's only 2 places in the province of BC that does it. St. Paul's Hospital, across the street there. And there's a hospital in Victoria that does it. Now there's rumors that there's one in Edmonton in Alberta also, but I honestly don't know much about it. I've asked them about it, and I haven't really got a square answer, because I'd like to post what hospitals do it, because for me it's been, I don't want to say life savings, but it's been life savings, because without it, as I said earlier, I've been bedridden. I can't get on my bed. My heart hurts so much from the shocks. You just can't breathe. So it's like, oh my God. So I want to get more word out there, because I'm sure there's more people like that that's been told, this is just how it is, live with it. And that doesn't have to be. So what I'm doing today is getting cryoablation, and that brick colored building across the street is St. Paul's Hospital, and it's due for closure, but it was built in 1941 and continues to be our province leader in hospitals. Does surgeries that no other hospitals do. So I'm gonna go over to Starbucks, have a little coffee, and regroup a little bit before my cryoablation starts. Sorry. Well, guys, my time has come. And I'm heading over to St. Paul's Hospital to get the injections. I think this will be the 28th time that I've had it done. I think. Kind of lost track since the 25th video. It's funny, I just met this guy in there that looks identical to this trader guy that's a billionaire that I watch on YouTube. His name's Alex something. I don't know, it's a new channel I follow, but that's the St. Paul's Historic Hospital and the Lights of Hope. And it's their fundraiser for a radiology, I think, of the hospital for new equipment and stuff. So they put up this really early usually, but that's where it sits. I'd really like to see it at night one time, but in a good way, I've never been here at night. Normally I just come here in the day. Get on to the hospital here. No homeless today, that's good. Everybody hold their breath for the tunnel of hope. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Oh, lights. This is cool. I didn't have that last time. Did you last? So, like I was saying in the previous clip there, the hospital was built in 1841 and it's due for closure. They're building a new hospital down the street, but I love this old building. It's so historic and it's helped so many people that it's kind of sad to see it go, but it's kind of served its time, I guess. So this is coming in the Bernard Street entrance. And I'm following the blue line to the second floor. I've been here so many times. I actually remember the first time I was here and how nervous I was coming here because you just don't know, right? So the doctor I see, I call him Lucky Charms because he's Irish. He's a young doctor. I'll put a picture right here. His name's Tim Murray, but he's just phenomenal. And when I started coming here, I actually came for his boss, which is Dr. Creswell, which is, I call him Waldo because he's all over the world speaking about nerves and nerve pain. So I called him Waldo because where in the world is Waldo today? I have names for everybody, but just waiting for the elevator to the second floor. This is going out of the elevator on the second floor there, and this is going down towards radiology, nuclear medicine. And that's the history up there. Sorry, 1895, sorry, I was off about 40 years. And that's where it all started. Just incredible, the history, and I love how they show it all on the walls too. Just to appreciate, you know, I mean, world peace, coming of ages, technology transforms, the nursing legacy. It's just so cool, but it's slated for closure, unfortunately. It's probably good in a way because it's outdated, but it is cool to see it. So I'll catch up with you guys after I get the injections and tell you how much fun it was.
A little later.
Hey there, guys. Another one's in the books. I feel like I say this every time, but this one was one of the worst I've had. So what happened was he injected a whole bunch of times, which was great, just like he normally does. But this time, about halfway down on my calf, I got a huge, sorry, there's a lot of noise here. I got a huge burning that wouldn't go away. So I was in there for a while and he was trying to inject around the burning to get rid of it. It was like next level. He was talking to the students and he says most patients get it frozen, but I don't like it frozen because I want to know that they're hitting the right spot. He says that most patients pass out from the pain, or pass out from the meat sweat, or from the I want to say meat sweats, but from the sweats. So, but I'm different because I want to know it's working, and it did work this time. So I feel different than I normally do. So I hope that's a good different. I'm not sure if that is a good difference, but we'll see. But I'm appreciative it's done. But again, I can't imagine living this kind of pain every day. Like people that have CRPS, or chronic regional pain syndrome, those people are warriors in my book, because it's hell. It's brutal. So thank you guys for going on this journey with me, and I hope you're not getting bored of these St. Paul's trips, but it's just my life. I'm down here every 6 weeks, and this time it was about 4 weeks I was down because of the situation I was in at home. So you got to take everything in strides, and like my channel is, one leg at a time. Well, I got to take this one leg at a time. I got to work through the pain and deal with things.
You're gonna go up there, ask me if I go back and see the discharge
It's about
nurse.
the people and the people that have helped me. So, like I was about to say, you got to take things one leg at a time, and that's what my channel's about. So, until the next one, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Hopefully, I'm in a better place. We'll see.
Down at the tire shop, just earning my key, when that elevator dropped, boy, it made me leave. Humpty Dumpty ain't got nothing on me. Doc stitched me up, but they set my leg free. Now I'm part middle, part man, and still kicking life through a curve, but I ain't quitting, one leg at a time. That's how I roll through the twists and the turns. I found my soul